Diablo IV has many opportunities to gain loot, experience, and overall the best items for your specific build. And one method to go about doing that is dungeons. So here's a look ahead at Diablo IV dungeons and what you need to know going into early access and open beta. Dungeons have a big role in Diablo IV, regardless of its early access, open beta, or even the full release. On the first completion of any dungeon, most dungeons will unlock legendary powers within your Codex of Power. Details on the Codex of Power can be found here. In addition to that, they also grant experience, gold, plus 20 renown within your region. Renown details can also be found here. In the end, dungeons are a great place to grind new gear and improve what you are building on, while at the same time gain XP and rewards which add to your journey within Sanctuary. So don't miss out on them, as there are a ton to discover. In Diablo IV, Sanctuary will be filled with many regions, and each of these regions will see with them close to 24 dungeons. Here is a number currently for each of these regions. Fractured Peaks will be the region available to us in early access and open beta, and there is said to be 23 dungeons altogether. Dry Steeped will see 21. Hawazar will see 23. Kazakhstan will see 23, and Scots Glen will see 25. This should tell you that there will be an ample opportunity to gain XP, gold, and high tier loot. But once in the dungeon, what exactly are your objectives? Each dungeon will see with it 2 to 3 core objectives you must complete. In addition to that, there's smaller side quests which will direct you to specific spots within the dungeon. Once those objectives are complete, a big boss battle will commence to deem the dungeon complete. Based on the press preview, there is a list of objectives identified that you can come across. Activate gate controls, free the prisoners, collect animus from certain monsters, find and return a bloodstone, find and destroy constructs, defeat all enemies in the area, activate the levers, defeat the boss. These are just to name a few, and later on additional objectives may be added to the game. Here are some additional details on dungeons to know about. Accessing dungeons. Some dungeons will only unlock once a stronghold is cleared. In Fractured Peaks, there will be 2 strongholds within Malnock and 1 in Ostrava that unlocks a dungeon. Some others will be in a locked state until you finish a portion of the main story. Monster families. Dungeons will see with it a family of monsters within it. This means that a certain type of monster will only spawn in the dungeon. So if 1 or 2 types of monsters are the first you encounter in the dungeon, expect the rest of the dungeon to have similar monster types. Side quests. There are some side quests in dungeons that may lead you to main objectives, and are always deemed good to take. Some side quests may even bring you to dungeons, and are always important to complete as you gain additional XP, Codex of Power entries, and renown. Shrines. As with various Diablo games, we know that shrines can be a powerful tool in the battle against demons. Within each instance of a dungeon, you will find 2 shrines in which you can activate. Nightmare dungeons are one of the many endgame mechanics of Diablo IV. Unfortunately, we may not see much of it during the early access or open beta, but it's good to know about them regardless. Nightmare dungeons are activated when you craft nightmare sigils from the occultist. This empowers the dungeon in question that the sigil belongs to and will spawn much harder enemies with better loot. The higher tier you go, the harder the dungeon will get. I will see about covering the topic as either more data comes out or the final release of the game. But for now, know that there will be a vast amount of nightmare dungeons with scaling difficulties. That's about it for dungeons at this time, and we'll get more details as the early access and open beta commence this week. I have released my schedule for this week, which will see me stream D4 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday over on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/HealPleaseHeal, and I ask you all to swing by and watch what this world has to offer. If you liked the video, please consider leaving a like and comment to help the video be shared around. Not to mention, if you find yourself coming back for Diablo IV content, leaving a sub goes a long way as we near 2,000 subs. Make sure to check out this playlist here for Diablo content, and I hope to see you all this weekend for early access. Thank you for watching, and see you in Sanctuary.